Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hand, something that really excites me that's out today on New Comic Book Day. This is New Comic Book Day. You can get all the new comics digitally, physically. Something like in my hand. This is Marvel Knights Daredevil, Guardian Devil, written by Kevin Smith, art by Joe Quesada, Jimmy Palmiotti as inks. Yeah, so this is... Wow, there's like a lot of art. Well, yeah, there was like a half artist that's got J.G. Jones, Steve Dillon, David Mack, Jimmy Palmiotti, Kevin Nolan, John Romita Sr., Jimmy Palmiotti. Why is he in there twice? Yeah, whatever. Jay Lee, Amanda Connor, John Cassidy. So colors, Dan Kemp, Laurie Dupuy, Drew Yaki, Richard Asanoff, Chris Sotomayor, Liz Agafiatis, Dave Lanfear, letterer, Nancy DeKezian is the editor. Alright, so Marvel Knights was basically like a mature launch for Marvel to try to kind of reboot their line. They brought in all these kind of hot writers at the time. Kevin Smith wrote this, matched up with some solid artists, and it was a much more mature take. I remember reading this in single issues and being blown away by it back then. So they're celebrating, I think, what, 20 years on this? Yeah, so they're celebrating 20 years of Marvel Knights. So we're looking at 1998 that this came out. Young 19-year-old me. It's really only been 20 years. It kind of surprises me. I would have predicted way longer than that. So this collected issue covers everything. It's Daredevil number 1 through 8 plus the 1/2 that came out, and it was at the time a pretty groundbreaking story. It really launched Marvel Knights. It really planted that flag, let you know what was going on. This wasn't the normal Daredevil that you read like way back in the day. Things were a bit different, a little bit edgier, and I remember loving it. So flash forward 20 years later, Brett's now approaching 40 as opposed to 20, and while I still love this, I think a lot of it's off in nostalgia, but at the same time, like, some of it just hasn't aged super well. There is basically the storyline is Daredevil winds up getting tasked with protecting a child who may or may not be the Antichrist. Really awesome concept considering Daredevil's Catholic. At that point, there's been some work with his Catholicism. I don't think it necessarily played up. I don't remember it being played up as well as it probably could have. Smith, being Catholic himself, I think brought a really cool perspective to it. Once again, someone having the perspective of what he's writing or what they're writing, really paying off and helping the material. And in this case, like, it was really good. And overall, I think the main story and the arc and everything is solid. There's obviously someone manipulating all of this. You don't know who or what's going on. Is this like maybe Mephisto? Is this one of the classic villains? Is it a Kingpin? Like, who is behind all this? The eventual reveal is, I still remember to this day, like, being just gasping and being like, holy crap. There are other, and spoiler alert on this one, I'm going to do the spoiler, sorry, but the thing that still, I think, doesn't quite age as well as they go and give Karen Page AIDS, and I still remember that page where she's bursting crying, going, I have AIDS. 20 years later, AIDS crisis is still present. It's still an issue, not quite what it was back in the 80s and 90s. And it doesn't quite feel like it holds up quite as well. It's really interesting that of the time I remember it being like very hyped about it, that this was, it was great inclusion, that they had this in the story. So many years later, like, just the way it's presented, maybe handled a little bit, something, it just doesn't click at all. A great concept, not done well necessarily. It feels very stumbling. And this is someone who, I've had family members pass away from AIDS. I know people that are infected by it. Like, this is not an HIV. This is something I'm well aware of. This is a topic that you deal with a lot in life, or have dealt with a lot in life. Well, do and have. So it's not like, it's a topic that I'm well aware of, and again, while it's great to see it addressed, it's just something it doesn't hold up quite as well. It feels much more shock value than maybe how it would be dealt with today. I'd be fascinated asking Kevin Smith if he would have changed that a little bit. But overall, like, there's a great mind screw with Daredevil that plays throughout the trade, throughout 8.5 issues, that just plays out really well. You, the reader, never quite know what's going on, and eventually when it kind of all comes together, I think it pays off really, really well. It's a solid arc. This was a really good arc. It planted the flag of Marvel Knights. You knew what was going up. You knew what to expect. And yeah, like, while it doesn't quite hold up to what I remember, those moments still hit me, and it was just great to be able to go back and reread the trade and kind of catch up with it. I mean, it was like visiting an old friend. There are a lot of extras in this. So this retails for $19.99. You're getting 8.5 issues for $19.99. So I actually think it's a pretty solid deal in that. There's some forwards and writings from Kevin Smith and Ben Affleck. You get various covers that are involved with it. And stuff that I love to see in comics, and I really wish they did more of this type of stuff, is we get sketches of some of the pages, for the graphic novel or trade paperback comics themselves. So you get to see some of the work that's gone onto it. So overall, like, basically, if you've never read Marvel Knights, if you want to see what the hype is about, it's 20 years, catch up, check it out. Totally worth it, pretty awesome. Really glad I dove back in to appreciate it and get a chance to check it out. In stores today, should be in bookstores 2 weeks from now, but go support your comic shop first and foremost. They've got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code, tell you for shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have affiliate links. There are affiliate links. We do get a small percentage. But go support your comic shop. Like, absolutely go support them first and foremost. They are the backbone of the industry. Speaking of support, want to thank Marvel for hooking us up with this trade. Want to thank you for watching. And if you're into Marvel, if you're into comics, if you're into Daredevil, into graphic novels, trades, whatever, you can check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.